Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I am Jason. As always, my man, Zach Partridge is in the house. And our special guest for today, Miyo Strong and Jason South.
I'm Jason, too.
You're Jason. I'm Jason. She's Miyo. He's Zach.
Yep.
Wherever.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
I'm going to let Zach talk.
Behind us, so.
What's behind palm trees? Oh, you guys got some
behind us, so life is rough.
Yeah.
Life's tough.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Jason?
I'm just going to share. I'm going to share this to you guys' walls while you're talking. So you can ask questions. I'm going to make sure I'm going to share this so everybody can see it.
So Mia, what are you doing in California?
I'm here for Super Fight for a show called Submissions on the Shore. It's an all-female card, and they pay everybody. It's pretty amazing here in San Diego.
Very cool. How'd you get hooked up with that?
Well, first of all, she's a woman.
Helpful. That's helpful on the all-female card.
Saying, you know, I think that's step one.
Well, it's 2020, so if I identify as a woman, it wouldn't matter if I identified as a woman because I'm getting my ass kicked either way. But I'm just saying somebody else.
It's funny because when they first approached me, I was like, "Oh, hey, my boyfriend's a black belt. Can you get him a Super Fight too?" And they were like, "This is an all-female card." I was like, "Oh shit, I need to do my research." But yeah, they're pretty amazing. It's normally on the Queen Mary, that big ship out in the bay. But because of COVID, we're going to actually have all the matches outside tomorrow. So it's going to be really cool. 70 degrees. Like, it's perfect weather to choke someone.
That's cool. I've never done rolls outside before.
Sounds
really?
like fun.
No.
Yeah.
I've only been doing this for like 3 years, though. So
it's crazy.
Where
do you train jiu-jitsu?
One Hit MMA up in Layton.
Up north.
Yeah. Lucas used to come up and teach at our gym a lot.
What is he, like a blue belt?
Montoya? Yeah. He's going to punch me so hard the next time he sees me.
He's a white belt then. Hit him, Lucas.
I'm not saying anything else.
Yeah.
I'll let you, I'll let you deal with him, Jason. How about that? How about that? You black belts can.
So that doesn't matter. He hits me also.
No, so that sounds super fun. What do you know about the girl that you're grappling with?
I'm old enough to be her mother.
Perfect.
She and her husband own a school.
Oh, nice.
In California. Yeah. And he's a brown belt. I was joking with him. I was like, we should do like a couples match.
Sure.
But you guys go first. But yeah, no, she's great. She's been on Fight to Win a few times. She's had, way more super fight experience than I have, but she's not really Googleable. Like I tried to get some insider information on the way her style or any of it, but
nothing,
huh? Yeah, not much is out there except for her super fights. But it's good because this rule set is anything goes. So it's
open hand.
So
no, it's not combat jiu-jitsu, but we can heel hook and reap and slam and all the things that IBJJF tries to stifle on us.
Be frowned upon.
Yeah, nobody wants to lose like this. The DQ.
I was I watched that combat jiu-jitsu for the first time over the weekend, the one that Samson was in, and I'm texting Zach and I'm like, I don't like that there's this guy just kept smacking this other guy. I'm like, this is stupid. But he explained it to me, and it was really only that one match, and there was one guy that in particular that literally he just kept doing it like it was like a fight, and I'm like, this is stupid.
But the palm, right?
But I noticed once Zach explained it to me how they utilize it. All the other matches weren't like that. It was only during certain situations that I would see somebody slap somebody else. But literally, this guy was doing it like on his feet as soon as they go to the ground. I mean, he's just slapping. I'm like, what's the point?
Like what? Not damaging? Just like
no, he was slapping him in the face. He's slapping him in the face, but he's literally doing it like they were literally fighting. Like, and the way Zach explained it, and maybe you guys can touch on this a little bit too, is that it's supposed to be utilizing it like if there's like a stall or if you can't get out of a certain position, or is it something that you do all the time? I'm not familiar with it.
Well, I've never done one of those, but it'd be the same as MMA on the ground. Like, you're not slapping or punching, but it's I think it's one of those things that it adds a whole different element. Like you can, like they say, like the old saying goes, a black belt gets punched once, he's a brown belt. Gets punched again, he's a purple belt. So I mean, people that are not used to it, it throws their jiu-jitsu completely out of throws it in the garbage. So it's whether it seems weird or stupid or not, man. If you're not used to it, your jiu-jitsu disappears really fast.
Where I like it is you see it in jiu-jitsu competitions all the time, right? They're just people are trying to score points. And so they'll get inside control, they'll pass the guard and get inside control, and they'll lock it down and they'll just kind of hang out there. They won't look to do anything. They'll just hang out there because they know they're winning on points. You open up the striking part of it, and so somebody's doing that, and I can start bopping them in the ears and stuff. Like we're gonna get them to move.
I agree. I like it for that too. I hate points. It drives me nuts. I see these guys at IBJJF that win by an advantage, and they get up and scream, and I'm like, you didn't beat them. You won, but you didn't beat them. I'm like, I can't stand people teach their own. I've lost to people on points plenty of times because I don't play it. I go for the submission, and if I can't submit them, then it is. They still got me, but in my mind, you might have won, but you didn't beat me. There's a big difference. I like the slapping. I like the submission only. That's my style.
Yeah.
So
this subs on the shore is so cool is because it is a submission only, and then there's like a whole division of EBI rules only. So I'm not fighting in an EBI rules match. Mine is sub only for 7 minutes, but there is a whole bracket of women. I think they're at black belt. They're doing EBI rules.
Cool.
So yeah, it's gonna be fun to see.
How can we watch?
So Event Global 2018 is the Instagram page of the live streaming company. And I put it in my stories on Instagram. You touch it, mama. What?
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna put it on the banner. It's on your Instagram, you said?
Well, on my stories, there's a swipe up. It's Event Global 2018 is the streaming company. I know I looked on their website and I couldn't really see a very obvious way to get to the link, but that's
we'll figure it out. I want to make sure people can get on there and watch this.
Yeah, I'll post it again. It's actually on my post I did this morning from Hyperfly HQ. I tagged the company.
Got it.
For Event Global. Yeah.
You're
glitching again. Take your light off.
Oh, damn it. See, I thought it was going to work good.
Like
you ruin everything.
Alien and that was on with Mel Gibson.
I thought it was going to work.
Oh, you're still doing it.
Yeah.
It's still doing it.
What the hell? Doesn't like me today.
Signs.
I even plugged it into a different.
You're still glitchy.
Oh man!
If you wouldn't have been so vain and tried to change your lighting, you could have been fine.
All right,
that beard goes good in all lighting. You didn't have to change it.
So,
pick on Jason day to day.
Still glitchy.
Yeah. I don't know what is going on. It's weird.
I can't hear it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't hear the glitchy?
You can't even hear him talk.
Can you guys hear me talk? Zach,
I can hear you. Yeah, I can.
Zach can, but you guys can't? Weird.
Can you guys hear me?
You're glitchy too now.
What have you done? Maybe it's your phone.
Maybe, but except for we were fine until he started dealing with his beauty lighting.
I had to have so much for dealing with the beauty light. This is why we need sponsors so we can upgrade our equipment.
You're a total glitchy. I wonder if you're glitchy to the audience, but
very weird.
Is your wife on? I wonder if she can tell you.
No, there's other people watching. Oh, there's people commenting. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to take it out the Wi-Fi really quick and see.
Points are for pussies.
That's
not it. Points are for ball sacks, Jacob South. Pussies are tough as
you're
shit.
right. You're right.
No.
Hillary says the glitches aren't coming through here.
So, Hillary, do we glitch at all? And
that's my
Jacob
wife.
You want to know what it is?
Translate us to the other people.
It's whatever Jason's watching on the Wi-Fi there that's glitching on your guys' phone.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to change my Wi-Fi and see if that changes anything.
Got him.
Got him. eventtv.global. That's what it is. No, Hillary's.
Okay,
Hillary,
can you guys hear us?
Hillary says we all sound fine.
My wife says it all sounds fine. So
now they're frozen.
We're frozen to you?
Shoot.
It's got to be their connection. Now
It's
they're
gotta- yeah.
glitching.
It's their connection. Yeah.
I gotta.
That's weird.
We lost them.
We lost them. So, anyways, if you guys are listening, eventtv.global
Okay. Can
on
you hear us
Instagram.
now?
Yeah, we can hear you guys.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You need to tell Jason to log off that website that
Hold
he's
on.
on.
You guys are. Oh, there you're back.
We're back.
Don't move the phone. Don't
You're
move the
so
phone.
glitchy.
All right. Well, we're gonna post the
We're gonna
video. So
pause?
people,
No.
we're gonna post it. So can you not hear us?
Can you hear us? All right.
We can hear you.
All right,
but
Jason, you're gonna have to
It's-
message him.
It's okay. I'll message you after this. We will post the link to how to watch your fight for tomorrow. And
Good luck.
everybody tune in to watch Miyo scrap tomorrow. What time does it start, Miyo? All right. I'll call you. Oh, man. I don't know what happened there. All right. Sorry about that, guys.
I think they just had some spotty Wi-Fi
Yeah, I think so too.
at their
We're
hotel.
on.
But
I'm going to message her and just tell her. Yeah. So Miyo Strong, go watch her tomorrow.
yeah, so that's fun. You know, more people. You know, we talk about how spoiled we've been with the UFC, and we have, and it's been awesome. But man, there are so many good like kickboxing, Muay Thai. I'm not throwing in bare knuckle boxing with it. And jiu-jitsu competitions. Like there's so much there's so many good combat sports to stream all the time. They're like somebody needs to build a hub that's not UFC Fight Pass that just I don't know. I guess they're trying with like that Fight TV and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
I
dig it.
mean, the card's pretty good tomorrow. I'm curious. I'm really interested to watch this jiu-jitsu tournament thing tomorrow.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying is more people like should tune in to watch. The more people that'll start watching this stuff,
Yeah.
just means that sponsorships will pay more, which means they can pay the fighters and the competitors more.
Yeah. It's
Like this is where your part in help growing the sport is everyday casual fans. For anybody that's listening, and I'm including myself in as an everyday just casual fan. Is you're a casual fan, the more you watch, the better ratings they get, the more sponsorships pay, the better the competitors get paid. It's that simple.
Yeah, I think it's great, and I'm really getting into it. Obviously, I've been training a little bit more. I have actually had the opportunity to train with Jason and Miyo, and they are both amazing.
I'm going to come down and train with you guys one day. It's going to be fun.
I know I've talked about this before, but I'm going to say it again. The one thing that I love about the jiu-jitsu MMA community is you can walk in as a nobody, and they make you feel welcomed. Everybody in the gym makes you feel welcome. These guys didn't know me from. I'd never met either one of those guys before, and it's just a welcoming feeling to go in there to a place where I know nothing about nothing. I am like not even a white belt.
You are a pre-white belt. No, you're good. You have a good idea of what's happening.
But you know what I'm saying though. It's intimidating to walk into a place where you don't know nothing, and you're like, am I going to get hurt? Is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? And it's the total opposite. So hopefully, people that are watching, if you've never done it before, pop into one of these gyms. They're all amazing. When we have, dude, the amount of gyms, high quality gyms that we have in Salt Lake,
high quality,
amazing
across the whole valley,
across the whole everywhere.
Ogden, even up in Logan, I think there's some good ones, but all the way down to Provo, the
Orem,
whole valley,
Provo,
they're everywhere.
Tooele, Salt Lake, Sandy. I was texting my buddy in Michigan. I'm like, dude, is there any jiu-jitsu gyms or any MMA schools around where he's from? Nope. Nothing around there. But you come here and you can pop into any one of these and get high quality training with high level black belt, jiu-jitsu black belts, or just high level people in general. Anyways, I'm off on my jiu-jitsu rant.
No, it's good. I want to talk about the heavyweight tournament.
Let's talk about it. Did you agree with the results?
No,
I don't think I did either.
I'm with Fedor.
I'm not mad.
I'm with Fedor.
I'm not
no,
mad.
I'm not mad. I love Stipe.
Yeah, I'm not mad, but I'm kind of with you. Fedor's run in Pride was just unprecedented. It's nobody's come close to doing what he did.
Okay. For those that,
But
I mean, but I think it's something that you could see coming. One thing in sports, recency bias plays a huge factor
for
in
sure.
sports, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's like, LeBron is hands down better than Jordan. Whether you like LeBron or not, everybody loves the recency thing, right? I mean, it's recency bias. I mean, like you said, Fedor's run was insane.
If they fight 10 out of 10 times, what do you think? You think it's split?
No, I don't. I think Fedor beats him all but maybe 2 or 3 times. Maybe.
I would say it's probably split because dude, Stipe has power. He's big. He can wrestle. And that's not saying Fedor hasn't beat bigger guys before, but Stipe's, I mean, he can crack.
Stipe is great. He's the greatest UFC heavyweight champion.
But I would argue that Overeem could have easily been in that final too. A prime Overeem. Prime Ubereem.
On all the steroids.
I mean, you could make a case that he could win that tournament.
And I said this. I actually think Ubereem is a tougher fight for Fedor than Stipe would have been.
Yeah.
Ubereem was a hard one for me. But this is what people have to remember. It's not like Stipe, Stipe, you look at his run, it's pretty freaking good. He's 20-3 with doing a lot of that work in the UFC. He was 5-0 when he debuted in the UFC. So his 20-3 record is 15-3 in the UFC at the heavyweight division. And he holds wins over Francis, JDS, Overeem, Werdum, Orlovsky, Hunt, Gabriel Gonzaga, Roy Nelson. Like, it's really good.
Yeah.
And it's a tough fight, and it's really good. But the other thing is, he's been knocked out twice by. So would you consider Stipe in his prime right now?
I would say right now. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So in his prime, in the last 2 years, he's 2-1 in his prime. When Fedor was in his prime, he did not lose.
It's hard to argue against that, man. It really is.
They're close fights. It's good fights. Stipe's a good fighter. I just think, and it's not that Fedor is like overwhelmingly better anywhere. I just think he's a little bit better everywhere. I just think I think he has the slight grappling advantage. I think he has the slight striking advantage. I think he has the slight power advantage. Like, I just think Fedor is just a little bit better everywhere.
Yeah.
And that will usually get the job done. And Fedor has no holes.
It's hard to argue with it, man. It's hard to argue with it. It really is. What do you think about the lightweight tournament that we're doing now?
It's dumb. It's dumb.
Why?
Because you know who's going to win. It's
Khabib
the same
wins?
as doing light heavyweight. John Jones wins. Who does middleweight? Anderson Silva.
You could probably make a case for some other 155s. Is he middleweight? I mean, no. You still got to go with Anderson.
Okay, that's fine. Even though Izzy beat him, but it was way past his prime.
Yeah, but that
would have been really fun, right?
It would have been really fun.
But lightweight, it's like just Khabib wins. Nobody's beating Khabib.
BJ Penn?
Nope. Not even close. Khabib is a giant compared to BJ Penn.
Well, I know I'm all in love with Khabib, and I think he wins it too.
Like, not only, you ready for this? Khabib doesn't lose a round in that tournament.
Kenny Florian? Prime Kenny Florian?
I like Kenny Florian a lot.
I do too.
He didn't even win the belt.
Yeah.
He's not winning that tournament without ever holding a belt.
Didn't he get hurt or something though?
He took a short notice fight and fought a very close competitive fight with Jose Aldo in the middle when Jose was in like his prime.
Yeah.
Kenny was good. Kenny was dang good, dude. Dang.
Well, I guess we're gonna find out what the fans think.
Okay, and you ready for this?
I'm ready.
I heard who said that, and I full-heartedly believe it. It might have been Josh Thompson and Big John McCarthy on their podcast. Conor McGregor's the next UFC 155 champ, and he beats everybody. As long as Khabib stays away, he beats everybody.
I wholeheartedly, I can't disagree with that. I don't see anybody beating him.
I was thinking about this, and I was like,
well, I don't know. I'm gonna backtrack a little bit because the winner of the Ferguson and Oliveira could beat him, I think.
I just don't like okay. Well, okay. So say it's Tony Ferguson, right?
I'll even go out on a limb and say, I'm not going to go out on that limb.
Don't say.
I think the Dan Hooker fight would be a pretty good fight.
I think he kills him, dude.
I don't think he kills him.
I do. He hit. I don't like it at all. I don't like.
I'm not going to say he wins that, but I do think Ferguson, the winner of that Ferguson Oliveira fight, they would give McGregor problems.
I don't think like Conor said something after the Eddie Alvarez fight that I full-heartedly agree. If you want to have a chance at beating Conor, you've got to have attributes. You have to have something that he doesn't have, right? Yeah. Or somewhere it's a distinct advantage. Nate Diaz has cardio that Conor just doesn't have, right? That's how, that Nate essentially beat him because Conor got tired. You get tired and then you start getting hit hard. He got rocked, right? Do you disagree?
No, I
right. And Khabib obviously has high levels ahead superior wrestling. It could dictate that fight took place on the ground to the point where Conor got caught with an overhand because he was so worried about the takedown.
That was
right.
How would Conor handle if it gets down on the ground with Oliveira or Ferguson? I don't think he can handle it.
I don't think he's playing on the ground with them, and I think he's good enough and competent enough that he gets it back to the feet. The way that they catch him on the ground is if they rock him on the feet and then it goes to the ground, then he's in trouble. Similar to Nate Diaz.
Well, it sounds like Khabib's coming back, so we might not have this.
I don't think he's coming back at 155, though.
What's he going to come back at? 170?
165.
165.
165 super fight with GSP.
Does that do anything for his legacy, though?
Nope.
Like, let's just say he beats it doesn't do anything for me.
It solidifies. Like, it's for a lot of people, it solidifies. They just want to see if GSP can compete with him. That's all it is. I personally
think he can.
I think everybody's crazy if they think a GSP that's in his 40s is going to compete with Khabib.
He's not. Yeah.
Khabib's like 32, 33 years old, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
in his prime.
He's not going to.
I actually think it's a better story, and I would just like to see Khabib just walk away and stay away. He has nothing to prove.
He's only 32. He just turned 32.
Okay. So he's in his prime, but there is literally not a fight out there for me.
That's what I was going to ask.
That goes, you know what? That makes him even better in my book. Because in my book, he beats everybody. Just for the sake of it, I would still like to see the Tony Ferguson fight. Just for the sake of it. But I think we all know how that's going to play out now.
Oh, 100%. I don't even think Tony Ferguson's getting past Oliveira, honestly.
I do. That might be a good on-air wager for us.
Good. Hey, check this out. Let me try this out before we go on to break down this card. Tell me if I'm still glitching.
You haven't glitched at all for me, bro.
Am I glitching now?
No.
Do you see my glowing face?
Nope.
I got the light on, Zach. I got the light on.
I see it. Up your rosy cheeks.
Oh, man.
But you know what I mean? Like, what is there for Khabib? Like, what fight?
Nothing.
What fight do you go, okay. The only fight, there's one. I take that back. There's one.
Who?
Usman.
Isn't Usman going to be too big for him, though?
But if Khabib goes up to 170 and mauls Usman the way he beats everybody else, then I'm like, okay. There's no argument at that point. Yeah. If he goes up and he mauls the guy that mauls everybody at that weight division,
How much bigger is Usman than Khabib?
That's the other thing. Muscle wise, he is, but like
Actually,
I don't
I
think
think
he's
they're
that much bigger.
he's not.
I don't think he's that much bigger.
Usman's only 6 foot. Khabib's at 5'10", but structure-wise, Usman does definitely carry a lot more muscle, and
For sure.
maybe see him in a grappling match or something.
I stand by this. I think there's a chance that we like just never see Khabib again.
Like he said, there's really nothing for him. Like you said, there's nothing for him. There's nobody out there that's gonna light my fire. The GSP, nah, it's a big name. It's going to be a big, huge pay-per-view. But as far as the actual fight,
This is what I think is going to happen. This is actually what I think is going to happen. He steps away for about 2 years. Connor is going to go on a nice little reign at 155. He's going to stay at 155. Connor's smart enough. I think Connor was offered the Usman fight, and his coaches said, we're not doing that.
I think so.
I do. I think Connor was offered that Usman fight at one point because there was a weird hanging where like Usman, it was like, remember they want to give Burns the fight, and it was like, it's kind of weird. And Connor's talking about wanting to come back. Like, yeah. I think that's the fight they wanted. Like, I think Connor wanted the fight. His coaches didn't want him to do it. Like, whatever. Anyways, what's the big knock on Connor? At least for me, is he's never defended his titles, right?
Yeah.
So if you're Connor and you want to solidify your legacy as an all-time great, in the opinion of the people, he needs to win the 155 belt and then successfully defend it for a nice little run. Connor does that, and he'll start chirping about being the greatest 155er ever. In somewhere in there, GSP and Khabib happens. And he gets to his 30-0, and then I think Khabib gets sick of Connor running his mouth as the 155 champ, and he comes back and he fights Connor again.
I think if Khabib is going to come back, it's going to have to be soon. Because I don't think in 2 years he's going to want to.
It's like the Amanda Nunes and Valentina Shevchenko thing. Like, there's nothing for him. Like, go away for a little bit, and then come back and like, let's find something interesting to do.
Yeah.
Let them build some people up.
I mean, yeah. You see, he's got his own fight. He's got his own fight promotion right now, right? I like that.
He just bought 51% of a promotion. Yeah.
I think once he starts getting involved with that, he's not going to want to come back and fight. Get him in now. Let him fight GSP. Give the fans what they want to see. Let him smash GSP.
A lot of those guys own little regional fight promotions, dude. Connor owns one.
What do you think about? I see some rumblings with Jorge and Colby possibly in February.
Oh, I haven't seen those. That should
I've
happen.
just been watching on Twitter. That has to happen, I think.
That should happen.
Who do you like? I like Colby. I think it's fairly easy.
I like Colby, and I think it looks kind of similar to the Usman fight. And I hate saying that because I'm going to be cheering so hard for Jorge.
I am too, but it's going to be fun. That'll be a fun one.
I think Colby's pressure is too much for Jorge.
I do too.
I hate saying that, dude. I really do.
Why?
Because I love Jorge Masvidal.
I do too. All right, let's break down this card for this weekend.
It's a good card. We watched the weigh-ins this morning.
Yeah, I got a few picks that I really like on here. So if you are a gambling man, I am going to give you my picks. Zach will give you his picks. We'll probably disagree on some picks. And, do you
disagree on picks? That's for sure.
Do we?
Yeah, we'll disagree on a couple things, I think.
Yeah. All right, let's start with the first one. We have Gian Volante against Jake Collier at heavyweight.
So
we might have this is our first disagreement, I think.
Oh my gosh! I mean, this is too.
You think Volante's just gonna walk through him? I actually don't. And
well, that's fine, but Collier sucks. I don't say this like about anybody. They both suck. UFC. I don't say this about anybody in the UFC. I really don't. But Collier didn't fight for 3 years, right? He was a
185.
He was a 185er at one point, and then he just got fat.
Life happens though, man. Like COVID.
He gained 100 pounds. He gained 100 pounds.
Maybe his wife left him. Maybe his wife left him.
As a professional athlete in the UFC, he gained 100 pounds.
You don't know what happens, Zach?
I don't care. You know what I know happens? That my pocketbook isn't betting on that guy that gained 100 pounds.
It's crazy because you look at his picture on Tapology and you're like, dude, this guy's a killer. Like, this guy could do some freaking damage. And then you look at him on the weigh-ins, you're like, maybe not. Here's my thing. I'm not.
Dude, that's not even the same human being.
I know. Here's my thing. I'm going to make a case for him just because they both suck and it's heavyweights.
Gian Vollante's a killer, though.
I don't think he is a killer. He's not a killer. Who's he killing? Who's Volante killing? He gets choked out by Maurice Green, who's meh. He loses to who the hell is Michael Ola Kajujic? He gets dropped by a body shot. He wins a split decision with Ed Herman, loses a split with Sam Alvey. Dude, I think here's my thinking on this one. At minus 200, that's not a.
He has a win over Corey Anderson. He has a win over our guy Sean O'Connell.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago, wasn't it? A couple years ago.
Yeah, so he used to be a killer. How about that?
And watching them at the weigh-ins, they looked similar. I just don't.
Volante still looks like he's in better shape than that.
I don't see Lane minus 200 on Volante to win this fight. I'm going to go out on a limb, and this is going to be my underdog pick of the night, and Jake Collier is going to win this fight.
So bad.
I'm wearing my genie hat on Monday if he wins.
That is so irresponsible.
I'm wearing my genie hat. If he wins.
You're going to get taken off the
air. I'm getting canceled. All right, so you're on Volante, Jake Collier.
I'm like positive on Volante. How about that?
All right. Are you laying minus 200?
It might get laid into a little parlay or something. Here, you ready for
You
this?
would put him in a parlay?
Dude, Jake Collier is not fighting anybody. Shut up, babe. Jake Collier's not beating anybody in the UFC right now. He's not. And yes, I ate a Big Mac last night, and it was delicious. Okay,
you ate a Big Mac?
It was delicious. I love Big Macs.
Ooh, that does sound good right now.
I haven't had one in like months, and it was amazing. But back to our picks. Jake Collier. Oh, they don't have anything. I wanted to see if I could pick rounds or anything, but
yeah, they don't have those up yet on those two. I just looked on that
because
as well.
I was gonna even say, give me Jean Volante by TKO.
I'm gonna go the opposite when it comes out. Take that.
Whatever.
So
okay, so you're gonna take Jean Volante by submission because that's the opposite. Because Jake Collier is not winning.
Jake Collier's gonna win. Why are we still talking about these guys?
I don't know.
Topuria and Damon Jackson at 145 is our next fight. Who do you like in this one?
I like Topuria.
I do too.
I think Topuria, you know, when he beat Yusuf Zalal, who I was actually pretty high on, that was eye-opening for me.
You know who has a Damon Jackson's got a pretty decent win too in his last fight.
Mirsad Bektik, absolutely.
Bektik. So he's got a tough.
It's a good fight.
Yeah, this is a good fight. I'm gonna go with Topuria on this one as well. Yeah, I like Topuria to win this one.
Oh, you know what? I'm switching.
Why?
Because I forgot Damon Jackson. I'm going with Jackson on this.
Fortis MMA.
Yeah, I forgot. This is the guy. I don't know. Man, this is a tough one.
It's a tough. It really is.
Back and forth. Can I just pick both of them? Topuria looked incredible against Zalal, who I was really high on. But the Leech, I forgot Damon Jackson. The Leech, he grabs a hold of people's necks and it's over.
Yeah.
It's like he has an elite skill set, and I really like picking guys that have an elite skill set.
He's tall. He's long. He's almost 6 foot. He's big. He's big for the division.
Yeah, he's 5'11", and he's a 2-1 underdog. You know what? I'm going Damon Jackson as an underdog.
I like it. I like
do.
it.
I think it's a great fight. I would not put money on either of these guys because I think and this could be a crazy fight. I think this is gonna be a really good fight.
All right, so we're on Damon Jackson on this one. I'm still sticking with Topuria, but I do like that.
I don't disagree. I'm just Damian Jackson was dude.
That's a good underdog because laying minus 255 on this close of a fight to me is
the odds are way in Damian Jackson's favor.
I think so too. Next fight up is my man Jimmy Flick and Cody Durden. This is going to be a great fight. This might be fight of the night.
Cody Durden fought to a draw his last fight in the UFC, his UFC debut. You know, he's on a pretty good winning streak. He hasn't lost in almost 3 years.
Yeah,
and good background, amateur experience.
Wrestler. He's a
wrestler, but it's very weird for me when you have a wrestler versus an elite grappler like Jimmy Flick, and I think Jimmy Flick is an elite grappler at the bantamweight division. Or the flyweight division.
Here's what kind of drew. This is why I like Jimmy Flick. One, I think he's a stud on the ground, and this is why I'm going against Cody Durden because if you remember that fight with Chris Gutierrez, he dominated the first round. It was probably a 10-8 round, and he gassed.
Yep.
And Gutierrez ends up winning rounds 2 and 3 and ends up being a draw. Durden is coming down from 135 to 125, but if you looked at them, they're pretty similar in height and weight. They're structured the same. Durden is the wrestler.
Durden's a little thicker, right? He's built a little thicker.
A little bit, but not much.
I think Flick's too slick to just get like mounted and pounded.
Oh, dude.
Not happening.
Even if Durden takes him down, fighting off his back, Jimmy Flick's the man.
Dangerous.
I think he's going to end up submitting him. I'm going to go for second round submission for Jimmy Flick. How about that?
We agree. We both like Jimmy Flick a lot. We agree on this.
All on Jimmy Flick. That's one of my official picks for the night. Next up.
Yeah, that's good.
Next up, we have Matt Wyman and Jordan Levitt.
Yep.
Does Wyman have a shot on this one, or do you think Levitt just murks him?
This is a 100% like, hey, we're just gonna feed the young guy like an old washed out guy. Like that's really hard for me to say because I liked Matt Wyman. I thought on season 5 of The Ultimate Fighter, like I thought Matt Wyman was gonna be like, man, like that guy's gonna be a future champion in the UFC. And he just never could put it together. Like he came off that show and he made it into the UFC, right? He fought in the UFC before the Ultimate Fighter in 2006, and he's been in the UFC ever since. And he has some good win. He could just never string it together.
Yeah. And
unfortunately, he took a 5-year layoff between 2014 and 2019.
5 years. Yeah, that's a huge layoff.
And he's been fed to 2 young up-and-comers, Luis Pena, Violent Bob Ross, shout out, love that dude, and Joe Selecki, and he's just getting beat. I just think Jordan Levitt beats him too.
What's the bet on this one, though? I'm not laying minus 440 on Jordan Levitt. You like the over-unders pretty even?
No, I don't even like that because I don't know. I just think Matt Wyman's a veteran. I could see him not getting finished, but I could see him very easily getting finished too.
Decision?
It's very hard for me. I'd put Jordan Levitt in a parlay though at minus 440. I don't see Matt Wyman. I don't see his path to victory anywhere. When I look at these fights, I'm like, okay, how can this guy win?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, his path to victory is a fluke luck thing. And
Jordan Levitt by submission?
Yeah, I do kind of dig that because Jordan Levitt
out of his 7 wins, he's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 4 out of his 7 wins are by submission.
And Jordan Levitt, local guy, tough enough guy and stuff, but he's slick on the ground. He's never knocked anybody out, so he's only won by decision or submission. He's never knocked anybody out.
All right. I think we're both on agreement with Jordan Levitt there. And I haven't gotten the odds on my book yet on how this fight's going to end. But I like Jordan Levitt by submission.
Yeah, I do too. I'll bet you that's not even plus money.
Yeah, you're probably right. Next up, we got Louis Smolka and Jose
Can you take off
Quinones.
the Big Macs? Can you take off my wife's Big Mac comment, please?
Why are you mad because everybody knows you ate a Big Mac last night?
It's hurtful. It's hurtful.
Oh man. Luis Smolka and Jose Alberto Quinones.
You know, I have a hard time with this one.
This one's pretty much a coin flip.
I don't know who to pick. How about that? If I had to lean, I would lean slightly towards the favorite Louis Smolka here.
Yeah, this one's a tough one. This is probably the toughest one on the card for me as well.
I mean,
I'm going to lean Smolka on this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jose ends up getting it done.
I mean, Jose, right? He kind of got beat up by Sean O'Malley, right?
Yes.
And
he's got a loss to Nathan Wood, which there's nothing wrong with losing to either one of those guys.
No.
But he's got a string of
they both do. I just feel like, yeah, you know what? I got to go with Smolka here just because, you know, he's 1-2 in his last 3.
All right. Smolka it is. I'm on Smolka too. Small lean on that. I don't think there's any money there. Malsar Evlov and Nate Landwehr. I think we're both on agreement on this one. Do we even really need to talk about this one very much?
I mean, I think everybody knows what I'm going to say.
Well,
that Nate Landwehr is a dork, and I hope he gets smashed.
I think he is going to get smashed.
And I hope he comes out cocky and confident like he did against Darren Elkins and talks a whole bunch of trash before he gets shut up.
How do you see this fight ending?
I am going to go by my man Ivalov, and I am going to say I think he kicks him and I think he drops him with a head kick and then either ground and pounds him out or submits him.
I actually think this one might go to decision.
It could. It very well could. If it does, Ivalov wins.
Ivalov's going to win decision, 30-27.
Like 30-27. Yeah, I mean, that could very well happen.
I don't even know what the odds are on it to go to decision because I don't have those up on my book. But Ivalov wins. I wouldn't take it straight up just because of what you have to lay. But Ivalov wins that fight. Next up, Roman Dolez and John Allen. Who you like on this one?
I will take the undefeated Roman, all the body hair in the world, Dolez.
Oh man, I like Dolez. I like Dolez too. I think Dolez gets it done.
When I watch the when I watch those weigh-ins, he looks in shape. He looks good. I really like that. I think John Allen is a good fighter. He just feels more like a filler type guy though, right?
Yeah.
He's kind of a journeyman. Gets 3 wins, loses 2 wins, loses, wins 3 or 4, loses. He, got to the Dana White Contender Series, lost, won, then took a short notice fight outside the UFC against Mike Rodriguez that ended up being a no contest.
Yeah.
I like Dolez here.
I think Dolez gets it done as well. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's going to be under 1.5 rounds.
Oh, you think he finishes him early?
I think he finished him. Yep. I think he's going to finish him. That is my pick, and I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
This card's pretty much all, it's pretty much all chalk. I don't really see very many underdogs having.
We like some underdogs.
Yeah.
And the next one's an underdog that I like.
Benitez and Justin James. This is going to be I think Benitez is.
Oh no! I thought the next one was the girls fighting.
No, I have that one after that.
Okay, my bad.
So Benitez and James. I like Benitez. He's the better overall fighter in my opinion. James does have the KO potential. That's about the only way I see this guy winning that fight is by KOing him, and I don't think he's going to.
I agree.
Benitez gets it done. He's back on track after dropping 2.
I agree.
Next up,
yeah,
Montana De La Rosa and Talia Santos. Santos is a pretty big favorite on this one.
Is she?
Yeah, she's 1-2 in the UFC. She's a Dana White Contender Series. She's minus 230. And they're not giving De La Rosa any love here.
I mean that's fine. And Santos, she's tough, right? She beats Molly McCain. She loses a tough split decision in her UFC debut. That was her first loss. I don't know here. I think this is a pretty big step up in competition for her. I think Montana is I think she's very good. She's tough. She's a good grappler. Montana beat the girl that beat her. Right?
Does MMA math really work though, Zach?
With like matchups and like with psychology of it, I think so.
Yeah.
The other thing is I feel like Montana's more familiar, like she's just been around the UFC a lot longer. And
yeah.
I think sometimes that makes a difference. And in this one I could see, I just think she's been in there with more growth. She has a lot more.
She was on The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah. I think like her record's worse, but her road to the UFC was a lot harder, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she fought Mackenzie Dern and Cynthia Calvillo before the UFC.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, she lost a really tough unanimous decision to Nico, who ended up winning that season of the Ultimate Fighter. She went on a nice 3-fight win streak, lost a tough fight she doesn't get finished really. When I talk about what's her name? Sorry, Montana.
Yeah.
She's the only time she's ever really been finished was by Cynthia Calvillo and Mackenzie Dern. She's just getting better. Like I like her a lot actually. And this is an underdog that because even if she's losing, she's always in the fight because she doesn't really get finished.
Gosh, I'm going to have to go with Santos on this one.
That's fine. I'm just saying for a dog, I really like Montana.
It's a good pick for a dog. I mean, at minus 255, I don't know if it's worth minus 230. I'm not going to bet it, but I am going to pick Santos to win the fight.
You could pick Santos. Yeah, picks it. If somebody thinks that Santos is going to win, that's great. I would not have that a part of a parlay or anything though.
No,
that is an upset waiting to happen.
Yeah. Co-main event, you got Ovince St. Preux and Jamal Hill. Should be a great one. Kind of the young up-and-comer against the old veteran.
So really all this is that comes down to me is I like Jamal Hill a lot. I think we both like him.
Yeah, right? I'm all over Jamal Hill.
Super talented. Throws nasty knees. Right? We saw it on the Contender Series. He eventually won with elbows.
Yep.
He's violent. I think he has a really good like killer instinct. You know, if he has somebody hurt, he's going in there for the finish and he's going for the kill. Really like that about him.
Yeah.
This is a giant step up in competition for him, though.
I think he gets it done, man. I mean, unless St. Preux just finds this magic potion where he decides to let his hands go, he can win the fight.
It's not just a magic potion to let his hands go. It's that OSP. He's got 39 fights versus 8. That's a lot of experience to just overcome. For me, it's which OSP shows up. So when you pick Jamal Hill, that tells me that you think that kind of the lackadaisical guy, the guy that fought Ben Rothwell shows up or whatever, you know, like he didn't look great in that fight, but
he didn't even really look great in the Menfield fight until he clipped him.
He didn't, but okay, he didn't, but I thought that he did because he kept throwing that left hook, and I remember that. And he kept throwing it till it landed, and he dropped it, right? You remember that?
Yep.
He threw that a lot. And I just think that, I mean, I look at who OSP lost to at 205. Forget that
A little heavyweight.
That was dumb. But Kurilov, murderer. Dominic Reyes, like, he's right there at the top.
Yeah.
Latifi, that's not a picnic for anybody to fight Latifi.
No.
Right? Ozdemir, split decision when Ozdemir was kind of starching people on his way up. Jimmy Manawa, killer. John Jones, killer. Glover Teixeira, killer. Like, Ryan Bader lost. Like, his other loss, Gegard Mousasi, it's in Strikeforce. Like, he just loses to, like, really good guys in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
That's all he really loses to.
Well, we're going to find out if Jamal Hill's the real deal or not.
I was actually on Jamal Hill, and the more that I'm looking at it, dude, I think OSP's the pick, dude.
He hasn't shown me enough.
You know,
Ever.
I love the over 1.5 at -175.
I do love that. I really like that a lot. That's probably a solid play right there.
But I was leaning Jamal Hill because I really like him. I really, really like him. Like I think he'll be there. I just think this is too big of a step up for him at only what 8-0, 7-0.
7-0. It's 8-0.
That's 8-0. That's a huge step up.
It's a huge step up, but it's the same thing that happened with Menefield. He was 9-0 when he fought him.
And what happened?
Yeah, but
it's experience, dude. It's experience.
Yeah, I'm still going with Jamal Hill.
I'm going OSP.
You're not talking me out of it.
I'm going OSP by submission. How about that? Von Flu choke.
Ooh. What's the odds on that? Is that out yet?
No.
That's a
It might be. OSP by submission though. That's what I got.
Plus 275.
Yeah, I like that.
Hill by KO plus 110. I like that. He's going to knock him out. Main event. I love this main event. I love it.
It's so much better.
Marvin Vettori, Jack Hermanson.
So much better than Holland. Sorry, Kevin Holland, but this is way better.
Yeah, this is a way better main event. And Jack Hermanson is not getting any respect. He's an underdog. How is the number 5 middleweight in the world an underdog?
Because Marvin Vettori is a monster.
So is Jack Hermanson.
I know he is. I know he is.
I mean, he loses to Jared Cannonier, but he beats Ronaldo Souza. He beats Gerald Merchant, Talia Latis. He loses to Santos. I'm all over Marvin Vettori. I'm picked just for the record. I've already picked Marvin Vettori. I think he's going to win, but I'm really surprised that Jack Hermanson's the underdog in this.
I think everybody thinks Marvin's going to win because everybody looks at his split decision loss to Israel Adesanya that a lot of people think that he won that fight. And I think, including him, I think he fixates on that a little too much. I am going to disagree with you one more time, and I like Jack Hermanson.
Little disagreement on the podcast today. I like
Hermanson. I think he's a savage, dude. I really do.
Well, they're both savages.
For sure. They both are. But like I like the underdog in this. How's that? I like that he's like, I think he goes into this like kind of a FU attitude, right?
Yeah.
And he's just, I don't know. I like him a lot. I like him a lot. Vettori, I think you have to be somebody that just can really close the show to beat him. And Vettori definitely can close the show. But again, it's a big step up in competition from anything that Vettori's fought.
Well,
he fought Izzy.
Yeah, he fought Izzy. It was 2 years ago. Yeah,
before Izzy was like really Izzy, but I mean he's still super skilled. But
it's going to be a great.
He fought Izzy. Only 12 fights into Izzy's career.
Where does this hypothetically speaking, Vittori wins this fight. Where does this put him? Does it put him up there in the top 5?
Yep.
Does he basically just swap spots and he's in the top 5?
He becomes the chatter of now he could be the guy that beats Izzy at 185.
Yeah.
If Izzy comes back to 185 ever. That's a big if, I think.
Yeah. I mean, if he pulls off this win this weekend, you put him in that top 5. I mean, you got Apollo Costo, Jared Cannonier,
Robert Whitaker.
Ooh.
That's fight, right?
I like either one. Hermanson wins. Robert Whitaker. I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm sorry, for whatever reason, I have a really hard time Robert Whitaker jumping right into the title mix after the way he got starched in his title fight. And it's not like he was the 185 champ forever.
Yeah.
And I love Robert Whitaker, but he has to pretty much wipe out the division so nobody else is even there to contend for it to force the UFC to give him that rematch, I think.
Yeah, I think he needs another. I think he gets the winner of tomorrow night's match fight, and then the winner of that gets Izzy again, if Izzy decides to stay at 185.
It would be really interesting if it's Vittori then, because then it's a rematch either way.
Which, yeah. All right. I like it. A few little disagreements on there. So do you have your official picks?
Yeah, I do.
What are your official picks?
So my official picks on the whole card. Let's see. Hold on. Let me pull up the card.
Pull up the card.
I'm going Jean Volante. I'm going Damon Jackson. I'm going Jimmy Flick. I'm going Jordan Levitt. I'm going.
What's your bets?
Oh man.
You don't have them in there? You're not ready for that yet?
No, I am. So
this is what the fans pay for. Well, they're not paying us, but
yeah, right. I am going to sprinkle a little bit of money on Damon Jackson and Montana De La Rosa as underdogs.
Okay.
I am going to parlay Ivalov, Jordan Levitt, and Roman Dolez together.
I really like Dolez. I really like Dolez, and I really like Benitez are probably my 2 locks.
I'm putting just a little bit of money on OSP winning by submission.
That's a good one.
I am putting a little bit of money on Jack Hermanson winning that fight. And
the public is all over Hermanson, by the way.
Are they?
Yeah, everybody's.
And then Jimmy Flick by submission.
I really like. I'm on the Jimmy Flick by submission too. It's not up yet on the book, but I think he ends up submitting Durden in the second round. I wouldn't be surprised if Durden comes out aggressive, tries to take him down, and gets caught in something in the first round. Honestly, but I like the under in the Jimmy Flick fight. I really like Roman and Gabriel Benitez. I'm probably gonna parlay those 2 guys. I don't like to parlay more than 2 fights. But if you wanted to take a stab at it, you could do those 2 with Jimmy Flick. And you know what? I'm going to take Jake Collier as an underdog.
Gosh, why don't you just go buy a Big Mac with that money and enjoy it?
I'm going to go buy a Big Mac anyways because it sounds good.
Can I come?
No, Zach. You're trying to get down to 170.
Oh, I'm already there.
Whatever.
Just give or take about 25 pounds right now.
Well, I'm excited.
I'm staying under 200. It's okay.
That's good. That is good. That's hard to do, man. Once you've gone through a fight camp or like a prep like you did, and you pretty much make weight, to be able to stay in that same ballpark area, whatever you want to call it. That's impressive. It takes that takes work. It takes dedication.
Yeah. I mean, I did. I'm not going to lie. I took some liberties.
Yeah.
But we're slowly going to get back into the diet side of things for the bulk of December. And then January, we're going to get right back into ready to make sure my weight's on point to be able to take whatever's available.
Sounds like we have some fights scheduled for January too. Into January, it's looking like Steel Fist is back.
Steel Fist is back.
You guys got a couple guys from your gym fighting in that card too, right?
At least 3 right now.
Ooh, nice.
And I think all 3 for belts, if I'm not mistaken.
Brody. Who else is fighting under your gym? Cole's fighting.
Brody, Jackson.
Oh yeah, Jackson's fighting. He's fighting Robbie Minor.
Yeah,
I like that. That's a good fight. It's a good fight.
It's a good fight.
Um,
I'll say this: the over/under less than 45 seconds before Robbie Minor hits the ground to try, because I don't think he stands more than 20, 30 seconds with Jackson.
The thing I love about Jackson is he's improved every fight, and from every fighter that I've talked to that's fought him, the kid can crack.
He's only beat himself.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
here's the thing that it's so crazy with Jackson.
He's one of my favorites. I like watching him. He's a stud.
Jackson is 3-4. Okay, he has a losing record,
but he's in every fight.
Okay, McKay Diamond cracks the kid, gets taken down, gets his back taken, whatever. Michael Eastwood cracks the kid, slips, and it goes to the ground.
Eastwood was the champ.
And Eastwood choked him out. That wasn't a title fight, though.
I know, but he was the champ. He did end up
that was
being the
before.
champ.
That was before. Right? Then beat Sean Cook and Lemmings by punches. Jordan Marshall, right? Takes his back, chokes him. Doug Anderson comes down from 135 to 125. By the way, folks, Jackson's like 118. He makes 125 with his clothes on, okay? He should be fighting at atom weight at like 105. But anyways, so he fights Doug. Doug's like, that's the hardest he's ever been hit, 125 or 135.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, and then Aaron Jennings comes down from Idaho. Props to him for coming down. And Jackson knocks him out in 24 seconds.
Yeah, he's a stud, man.
Dude cracks. And he's not afraid of anybody, by the way.
I love it.
He grabbed me at the gym the other day. I got 80, 85, 90 pounds on the kid. He grabs me and is trying to attack me the other day. I mean, he doesn't care about anything. He thinks he beats everybody always.
Cole's got a different opponent, right, than what he was scheduled for.
Super tough fight.
Yeah, I did a little research on that one, and I'm excited about that one too. I'm excited to have the Steel Fist back. Be good.
Yeah,
good to have back.
If anybody would like, I am two weekends in a row cashed on DraftKings. I'm going with Dolez, Evolov, Flick, Hermanson, Jackson, OSP. That's your cash.
I like it.
That's my cash ticket on DraftKings.
Cash it. All right. I guess that's it for the day. We'll be back on Monday to give you guys the recap on how we did on our bets.
See how bad we're off. The only one I'm positive that you're dead wrong about is Jake Collier. Everything else, who knows?
You know my Genie hat's going to be on if he wins.
There's no way he wins.
It's happening. It is happening. All right. We out of here, fellas, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for listening. We out. Baby, come back.